Welcome back, to the channel Coins Collector everyone, to another exciting episode right here on the channel where history, treasure, and small pieces of metal come alive. If you love coins, rare finds, and stories that blend American heritage with hidden fortune, then today's video is going to be one you will never forget. Because we are diving deep into the story of a coin that many people have seen, spent, or maybe even tossed aside without thinking twice, the 1988 Liberty 1-cent coin, better known as the 1988 Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, what could possibly make a 1-cent coin from 1988 worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? How could a coin that was minted by the millions turn into a collector's dream worth more than a brand new luxury car, even reaching prices around $444,000 in today's coin market? Well, stick around, because we're going to uncover everything, from the origin of the coin, the design, its mysterious varieties, the era that made some of them incredibly rare, and why collectors and investors across the world are going crazy trying to find one in their pocket change. Let's rewind time for a moment. All the way back to 1988. The year was filled with global events, new technology, and a changing American spirit. Ronald Reagan was in his final year as president, gas was cheap, the Cold War was cooling off, and the Lincoln penny was quietly continuing its long-standing journey through American hands. The Lincoln cent has been an icon of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured Lincoln's bust on the front, the first real person ever placed on a U.S. circulating coin. Over the years, it went through a few design updates, but by 1988, it carried a familiar and comforting look, the same proud Lincoln portrait on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, symbolizing unity, strength, and American ideals. But here's where the story gets interesting. In 1988, something unusual happened at the U.S. Mint, something that collectors didn't even notice until years later. During production, a few dies, the steel stamps used to imprint the design on the coin, were accidentally mixed between two different years. This created a small, almost invisible variation in the design, but one that completely changed the value of the coin. Some 1988 pennies were accidentally struck with a reverse design intended for 1989. This means the front of the coin said 1988, but the back design came from the following year's die. This is what experts call a transitional error, a rare event where designs from two different years overlap. And because the mint never intended for this to happen, only a very small number of these error coins escaped into circulation. For the average person, these coins looked completely normal. You could have one sitting in a jar at home, in your wallet, or mixed in with other change, and you would never know that it could be worth a fortune. But coin experts noticed something subtle. On the 1988 reverse, there's a small engraving beneath the right side of the Lincoln Memorial, the designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo, who created the memorial design. On the 1988 coins with the correct reverse, the FG initials are bold and sharply defined. But on the transitional 1988 coins that use the 1989 reverse die, the initials are slightly different in style and placement, a small detail that only the most observant numismatists caught. That little difference turned an ordinary penny into a treasure. When word began to spread through coin magazines, collector forums, and shows, people started digging through their old jars and collections. The 1988 Denver Mint and 1988 Philadelphia Mint coins with the 1989 reverse quickly became one of the most hunted modern rarities in U.S. coin history. Over time, the market value for pristine examples skyrocketed. Graded coins in mint state, especially those authenticated by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC, began selling for thousands, tens of thousands, and in recent high-profile auctions, even over $400,000 for the most flawless examples. That's right, a coin that cost 1 cent to make in 1988 has now become worth up to $444,000 today, depending on its condition, mint mark, and how cleanly the transitional design appears. So why are collectors paying so much? It's not just about rarity, it's about history, mystery, and human error. Every coin tells a story, and the 1988 transitional penny tells one of change, of the mint's evolving technology, and of the thrill of discovery. It's proof that even in a world filled with mass production, perfection is never guaranteed, and sometimes, imperfection becomes priceless. Imagine the excitement of finding one in your pocket change. You could be holding a piece of American minting history, a coin that slipped through the cracks and became a legend. That's the magic of coin collecting, the idea that fortune can hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with a keen eye to recognize it. Now, let's talk about how to identify one. If you've got a 1988 penny, take a look at the back, specifically, at the FG initials to the right of the Lincoln Memorial. On a normal 1988 penny, the initials are strong and separate from the base of the memorial. But on the rare transitional 1988 variety, the initials look more delicate and are placed closer to the building, matching the 1989 reverse design. Under magnification, you'll also notice sharper, thinner lines in certain parts of the memorial columns, another telltale sign that your coin might just be one of the rare ones. Condition matters, too. A coin in circulated condition might fetch a few $100s, but an uncirculated, near-perfect mint state example can soar into the hundreds of thousands, especially if graded MS-65 or higher. The most valuable known specimen, verified by top grading companies, has been estimated at $444,000, setting a record for modern Lincoln cents. The market for rare coins has only grown stronger in recent years. Collectors, investors, and even first-time hobbyists are realizing that these small treasures can be incredible assets. Online auctions, coin conventions, and private sales are all buzzing with excitement whenever a new 1988 transitional penny surfaces, and while the 1988 penny might be the star of today's show, it also serves as a reminder that hidden gems exist in all eras of U.S. coinage. Whether it's a double die, a missing mint mark, or a small engraving error, these little details turn ordinary coins into historical artifacts worth life-changing money. So next time you get a handful of change, take a closer look. That dull copper coin might just be your ticket to fortune. In this video, we're going to explore the full story, from how to identify these rare pennies, where they came from, how many might still be out there, and what the experts say about future value predictions. And if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and join our community of collectors who know that even the smallest coins can hold the biggest secrets, because at the end of the day, the world of coins is not just about money, it's about discovery, history, and the thrill of uncovering a story that has been hiding in your pocket all along. So get ready, grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1988 Liberty 1 cent coin, a penny worth up to $444,000, and one of the most astonishing treasures in modern American numismatics. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating story of a coin that has captured the attention of collectors all around the world, the 1989 Liberty 1 cent coin of the United States. This little copper beauty, which most of us have probably seen thousands of times in our lives, holds a surprising secret. Some rare versions of this coin have been valued at a staggering $331,000 in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that could be worth more than a house, a luxury car, or even someone's lifetime savings. Before we break down how and why this particular 1989 Lincoln cent, often referred to as the Liberty 1 cent coin, has reached such an unbelievable value, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story about rare coins that could change your financial future. Now let's jump into the full story behind one of America's most interesting pennies, the 1989 Liberty 1 cent coin. The year 1989 might not seem like ancient history, but in the world of coin collecting, even a few decades can create some incredible stories. The Lincoln cent, or what most of us call the penny, has been in circulation since 1909. It was first issued to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, who remains one of the most respected figures in American history. The obverse side of the coin features the familiar portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse during this era displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a powerful symbol of American freedom and unity. Now, by 1989, the Lincoln cent had already gone through many changes in composition and design over the years. Early versions were made of 95% copper, but by 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the metal composition to a copper-plated zinc. This was done because the cost of copper had risen dramatically, making it too expensive to continue minting solid copper coins. So most 1989 pennies are actually made of zinc with just a thin copper coating. But here's where things get interesting. Certain minting errors and variations from that year have made some of these coins incredibly valuable, so valuable, in fact, that they are worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors have always been fascinated by error coins, coins that come out of the mint with some sort of production flaw. These flaws could be anything from double strikes, off-center prints, wrong planchet errors, or even missing design details. The 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin that sold for over $331,000 falls into this special category. What makes it so valuable isn't just age or design, but rather the rarity and perfection of the error that occurred during its minting process. In the coin world, rarity always drives value. There might be billions of ordinary 1989 pennies out there, but only a handful of known examples display these special traits that separate them from the rest. For instance, some 1989 cents were accidentally struck with a proof die intended for collector sets, giving them sharper details and a mirror-like surface even though they were not supposed to be proofs. Others were struck using an older die design or had the wrong metal composition, which makes them stand out when tested by experts. Imagine checking your pocket change and finding what looks like a normal penny, same color, same size, same face of Abraham Lincoln. But upon closer inspection, the details are crisper, the rim is slightly thicker, or maybe the mint mark looks just a little off. That tiny difference could be the sign of a coin worth thousands of dollars. It's this sense of mystery and discovery that keeps the coin collecting world so exciting. Now let's talk a bit about the market value and what gives this coin its staggering worth. The record sale of a 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin reaching the $331,000 mark happened at a major coin auction. The coin was graded by a professional grading service at an extremely high level, meaning it was almost perfect in condition, barely touched by human hands, preserved as if it had just left the mint yesterday. When rarity meets perfection, the price can skyrocket. Collectors and investors are always looking for the next great find, and when an example like this appears, the bidding war begins. Another factor that increases the value of the 1989 penny is its connection to a transitional period in U.S. coin production. The late 1980s were a time of change in minting technology, die usage, and quality control. Some dies were reused or over-polished, creating variations in the details of the Lincoln Memorial or the inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." Even tiny differences in the spacing or thickness of these letters can indicate a rare die variety, which in turn can make the coin a collector's dream. For everyday people, the idea that a 1-cent coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars seems impossible. But in the collector world, value is driven not by face value, but by history, condition, rarity, and demand. Coins are not just money, they are time capsules, small metal stories that connect us to moments in American history. Every scratch, every shine, every mint mark carries a trace of the time and place where it was made. So if you have some 1989 pennies lying around, it might be worth taking a closer look. Start by checking the mint mark. Pennies from Philadelphia have no mint mark, while those from Denver have a small D beneath the date, and San Francisco proof coins carry an S. Examine the details under a magnifying glass or with a good camera. Look for strong, bold lettering, doubling in the design, or unusual surfaces that seem too smooth or too shiny. And of course, if you believe you have a rare coin, it's always wise to get it professionally graded or appraised. The coin market today remains strong, especially for Lincoln cents. Collectors are always eager to find coins that fill in rare slots in their collections. The fact that a 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin could reach over $300,000 shows that even modern coins, not just the old silver or gold ones, can hold extraordinary value. The lesson here is simple: never underestimate what might be sitting in your coin jar or tucked away in an old drawer. That little penny might just be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. So as we continue exploring the history and hidden value behind America's coins, remember that every piece of change has a story. The 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin reminds us that sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest surprises. It's not just a coin, it's a connection to craftsmanship, history, and the thrill of discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of the 1989 Liberty 1-cent coin and its incredible value, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more coin history and value breakdowns, and share it with fellow collectors who might be searching for their own hidden treasure. In upcoming videos, we'll look at more coins worth big money and explore how you can identify rare variations that may be sitting right in your loose change.